Alright, so I'm not sure how many of y'all have followed along. I've gone to Hood River about Ted Bollinger. I've gone to them about threats and harassment against me. There was a woman named Emily Hahn, and I'm pretty sure she was a young woman who was up there at the parking lot. It was light blue Ford Focus. That woman did not seem like she was schizophrenic, but she did seem like she was scared. I went to Hood River. I tried. Even if I stand out in the middle of the street, I'm hoping you guys get this to Miss Alycia, because she was not at work today, and this is pretty important stuff. There's a lot of people who are dead, Miss Alycia. And that includes not just Natalie Bollinger, and I don't know if you looked into that or know anything about that. Because I am in Hood River, because the cops here treat me the way that they treat homeless people everywhere. Last night when I saw you there in my parking lot, yeah, I got scared. I'm sure your fellow employees told you about me standing right over there and screaming in the middle of the street. Miss Alycia, I video recorded a lot of stuff, and people watched it happen live on YouTube and still did not call the police. Still, they did not call the police. Last night, thank goodness you were not harmed. However, had you been, you know what, the difference between you getting abducted and not getting abducted in that situation is a matter of whether or not I'm willing to take a fucking bullet for you. I didn't even know it was you. I didn't know it was you until you announced your name. Now, I'm sure that your employees there at Starbucks weren't close enough to hear the full conversation. They weren't there to hear the bullying and the harassment and the how am I supposed to turn that into the cops when they treat me like that? Meanwhile, they want me to pay money for their body cameras. I can't go in alone. They tell me also that it's going to take an act of God to get those cameras. These officers and their conduct is showing why it is that they need to be defunded, and we need to institute programs and initiatives that actually work. Last night, obviously, it was not a safety issue with you, but I had to check. You know what happens if anything happens to you and you are that close to where I stay at night? Any ex-boyfriend that you have, any stalker that you had all throughout high school, if they find out I'm here, they can definitely use me as an excuse to fucking kill you and pretend I did it. The cops aren't going to fucking investigate shit. You already know this. I've gone to several of your employees hoping that they would help, and you know, even if they don't, that's not what they should have to do. That's why I left Starbucks to begin with. So there's not a safety issue with you guys. I want you to look up Emily. I found out Emily was missing. I got an alert that she was missing after she had already been found. Here's the thing, Emily, I'm pretty sure that she's the lady in the Ford Focus that me and Logan and Shay were talking about. She seemed more afraid than anything else. What are the chances that, you know, she was victimized to the point of being homeless and being scared and living in that Ford Focus? I told her about, well, the missing and murdered women of Hardin, Montana, and how it's not just in Montana, how it's nationwide. And then, of course, where did they find her? She was at a reservation. What are the chances she was trying to turn in things that people did to her, but because she was so incredibly scared that they locked her up on a mental health hold. It's that same parking lot from last night, Alycia. The very same one. My only ability to keep people safe is to get the fuck away from them. At the same time, if I see something like that, I have to record it. Not that anyone's going to call the cops. Not that anyone's going to care. Not that anyone's going to listen. But if something happens to you, like, today I didn't see you at work and nobody said anything about it. And, I'm having issues with my phone now. It wants to do this update thing, so I got to turn it off and allow it to do its update thing before I can even make a telephone call. I'm hoping I can receive one. If there's anybody who's got my number out there, if you could call me and see if I can at least receive calls, that would be terrific. Alycia, I am sorry that I recorded you last night just because that does put you at risk from my predators. There are 3 people missing from Oregon. I'm pretty sure I told you guys, everybody at Starbucks. If I didn't tell you, I'm sorry. You intimidate the shit out of me. I also want you to know that there's 2 women that I've got a lot of fucking hell that I'm going through because of. And one of them, her name is Jamie Lee Curtis, not the famous actress, and you look a lot like her. Also, you have the same or similar name as Natalie Marie Bollinger's twin sister, Alycia. So, of course, if anything happened to you, they might pretend that I'm some sort of creeper dude trying to creep on you, that I stalked you to that parking lot and all sorts of creepy stuff if anything did happen to you. And I gotta let you know, there are enough dead people in my life that this is a very serious situation, and it's dangerous for anyone that's around me. I mean, I've left a wake of bodies for years. I don't know how to explain to you that there's a lot of people who are dead. A lot of people that, because of what happened to Natalie, people go out of their way to try to pretend and play whatever they can to make me out to be a villain. Last night I wasn't trying to put my nose in your business or nothing. But at the same time, like, when I heard some raised voices and the words that were coming out of y'all's mouths, I am the first responder. If I don't check, I don't look, if I don't look into it and you become a corpse because I wanted to mind my own business, first of all, how is that going to make me feel? How is that going to play on my conscience? And second of all, my predators, how are they going to play that? How are they going to push that? How is Hood River Police Department going to play on that? Going to play on a history that I don't even deserve. The risks for you guys are very real. They've threatened a lot of people, and there's a lot of witnesses that are no longer breathing. My little sister was just threatened a few months ago. That's why I'm here. She was going to help me to do this stuff in court, and now she's too afraid to do so. We're not in communication, and I had to work with her to make her hate me for a bit. It's stupid. Alycia, if anything had happened to Emily Hahn, they would have tried to peg me for it. Just like they tried to peg me for Natalie Bollinger. Just like they tried to peg me for Celine and Not Afraid. Just like they tried to peg me for Christine Bouhy. And the closest one I was out of all of them was Natalie Marie Bollinger. According to MapQuest, where I was at Miss Peach's house, Kayla Trujillo, between there and where Natalie Bollinger's body was found was 2 hours and 13-minute walk each way. when something like what happened last night happens, I make sure that it's recorded, even though nobody's going to listen, even though they'll hold court without me. Again, they do this nationwide to the homeless. We just simply don't matter. When we try to turn in officers, like the other day when I had to literally scream in the middle of the street for help, what did those officers do? They came up and threatened and harassed and intimidated me, went out of their way to talk over me and be very unprofessional about it. Now, since I didn't see it today, obviously I got a little bit of paranoia too, because I don't know what transpired last night afterwards, and I'm hoping y'all are safe, and you probably are. 9 times out of 10 you are. You know, it turned out my sister was all right. She wasn't dead. 12 years ago, 10 years ago, I think it was 2012 when my sister went missing, and 2014 when Brittany went missing. It was also 2014 when Hannah Pendergrast went missing, and it was also 2014 when Sarah Rubiola went missing. You know, they all ended up being still alive, but same thing with Alycia Ballinger. You see how difficult this gets for me to try to keep even those two names straight, yours and Alycia's. Hood River will just blow me off if something happens to you. They'll give me the mentally ill treatment if something happens to you, even in front of me while I'm recording it. That's not just here. Amy Spencer could have been beaten to death in Nebraska by Joshua Rayborn, and I did what I could to rescue her, even after the messed up things she did to me. And Nebraska State Patrol and sheriffs got the cost, and none of them cared. Even though it was recorded live on YouTube, none of them cared, none of them looked. It didn't matter. I didn't matter. So when something like that happens, like what happened last night, I don't record it to be malicious. I don't record it to make you the center of attention. I record it out of complete and total fear of this goddamn chaos. With Emily Hahn, like, if I'd have known she was missing, I could have done something a lot sooner before. She's probably locked up now. She was probably trying to turn in a predator she was afraid of, and she probably said something wrong that they could twist or manipulate into her trying to commit suicide, so they could lock her up and inject her with Ativan and Haldol and possibly Benadryl as a sleep catalyst. Now this has the possibility, I don't know if you know Dean, a lot of people here in Hood River know Dean. That combination will turn you into Dean. And you guys, you don't understand that. I'm doing the best that I can. If I'm able to help find somebody like Emily, I am absolutely gonna, even if I have to scream in the middle of the street. It's not gonna work though. They'll threaten to arrest me. Alycia, if you got an ex-boyfriend or a stalker who wants to come harm you, and I see it, or if I suppose those are probably your friends. If they hadn't been your friends, if they'd stuffed you into that vehicle and not had permission to drive and taken you off and done horrible things to you, even with the evidence showing that I wasn't the one that was doing it, I wasn't the one who was, they're not going to listen to me. And because people know I'm in Hood River now, and because the police have got my number, so to speak, you're at risk just because I exist. All of your coworkers are at risk just because I exist. The people at the Astro gas station are at risk just because I exist, and the people at Walmart who were good to me are at risk just because I exist. Anybody who I admitted exists that might have a jealous ex-boyfriend, a jealous ex-partner, a jealous ex-girlfriend, anybody. It won't matter. It won't matter at all. They'll just call me crazy, pretend I'm schizophrenic like they did when I first got here. They'll try to pick me up on things that other people do, like that guy with the rock. They'll tell other people around me that I'm schizophrenic, that I was doing drugs with people in my vehicle. I'm not going to pretend I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't pretend I don't smoke pot. We're in Oregon, both are legal. But it's illegal for me as a homeless person to smoke the pot because I don't have a legal residence here. The officers told me that it's legal to smoke pot, but not out in the open. I have to do it at my legal residence. I don't do anything else. Alycia, there is evidence all over my YouTube and my Facebook for years that I've been telling the truth. But nobody looks at it, and that puts you and your friends and even your family at risk. And that's all because last night when I recorded it for not only your safety but mine, you said your name, and you know that got me to go away. It got me to understand you were well within control of the situation. For me, I got to understand how it has played out in the past, how police have treated me since the death of Natalie Bollinger, how the public has treated me, and how they have targeted anyone who tried to help me, which is why your coworkers, their names are kept secret, at least for right now. But there's no guarantee that somebody won't get a hold of me and tell me that their life is being threatened and they're afraid, and then I'm liable to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on YouTube. I mean, it's not that I don't try. You got to see, I was out in the middle of the street, screaming at the top of my lungs. Literally, that's what it took, because I didn't have someone here in person. Any of the times that these cops did these things, that would go in with me. Good to see you again.
Hey, how are you?
I'm tired.
Sorry. May I sit with you for a minute?
Absolutely, you may. Does that blanket do you any good?
I didn't have a chance to use it yet because it was so warm outside.
You look like you're about to pass out. Could you sit down first? It's pretty warm.
Yeah, my name is Jimmy.
I'm Sean.
Very good to see you. Good to meet you.
Absolutely. I'm sorry I didn't bring you any food last night.
Somebody brought me some hamburger and a taco.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I found $5 over there in the parking lot, so I was able to get me some rolling papers. I don't have any more tobacco to roll into a cigarette, or I'd offer you one.
I need weed.
Do what?
I need weed.
Right? Everybody needs weed. This is Oregon, though. It's pretty easy to find. They give him weed all the time. He's offered me a lot of it several times where I'm like, I can't, dude. I can't be getting that stoned. Although, really, I don't, for the most part, get stoned at all. It's very specific situations where it actually does me some good. The rest of the time, it makes things worse.
Well, I'm going to try to follow the sign and get out of here.
Yes, sir. Bigs need ride. Yes, sir.
That'll work.
Which direction you heading?
East. Go towards Bix, and then I got to go south to Denver. Got to get back home.
Yes, sir.
Can't do this felon. No more. Be homeless on the street when I know I have a house to go to. Me and my wife, we just not get along right now, so I decided to just take off and get some get a peace of mind.
It's better than someone getting too hot tempered and someone getting killed. Some crazy crap like that. That's for
I'm
sure.
not really hot tempered. It's her that hot tempered, man. If it doesn't go her way,
Yeah, I've been hit by a lot of women too, so I avoid. Not saying she hits you.
she does all the time. All the time. I'm a man. I don't hit women. But, I'm restless. I gotta go.
Yes, sir. Oh, you be safe. Good luck getting home. All right. Make sure I got everything.
All right, bud. See you later.
Men flee abuse too. You know, at all the people they wanted to pretend like I killed, Natalie Bollinger was the closest. Alycia, if something happens to you in my parking lot, I want you to understand that the police aren't going to give a fuck. They're not gonna, so I'm paranoid and I'm scared. And I don't take down evidence of how paranoid and scared I am. I also don't take down the evidence of why. I want to get as far away from you as possible. If someone decides to capitalize on the situation like Joseph Michael Lopez did, I can't protect you except in person. The best thing I could have done last night is tell you who I was, be loud so that you knew I was there. Make sure that if you needed help, and I'm sorry, I get that you weren't all unsafe and stuff now. I understand that now. I told Hild River about Natalie's dad and possibly human trafficking. I tried to set it up so that I could try to turn those things in without somebody there in person, and I can't. Even if those people had abducted you live on my YouTube channel, if there had been a major issue, even with people watching that situation on my YouTube channel live, just like with the other situations, they wouldn't have called it in. They wouldn't have called it in. I'm trying not to revert. I'm trying not to be scared. I'm trying to communicate effectively, and obviously that's not a happening thing. Even in the shade, I'm hot as fuck, and my phone is heating up like a motherfucker, and thirty thousand people were trafficked through San Diego last year alone, according to the city of San Diego. 30,000, Alycia. 30,000. When I see stuff like last night, most of the time, yeah, it's no big deal like last night. But also now I'm second guessing whether or not I did the right thing, because I just, something as simple as coming in and apologizing to you, and you're not here, and I'm scared. I'm scared to ask the other Starbucks people if you're okay, because I don't want people to think I'm stalking you. I don't. I mean, you all seemed all right when you left. That doesn't mean you were. And I'm really sorry. I didn't do it to be mean. I didn't do it to be malicious. I did it for your safety and for mine and for the safety of my loved ones too. Because whenever somebody close to me, and I don't mean like you and I were ever boyfriend, girlfriend, or best friends or anything like that, but you're, as a employee of the Starbucks I've been going to for 5 months, you're physically close to me. Your physical location is close to me. You are within physical proximity of me. You look like somebody who wants to pretend like I would, who fucking knows what. You have the same name as the twin sister of somebody who did some fucked up shit to me, and I get victimized for everywhere I go. It is because of that twin sister that most of this shit happened. Paranoia, assumptions. Obviously, I wasn't going to the park and ride to stalk you. I was going there because my car was there. Obviously, I wasn't going there to try to make you do things with me. I wasn't going there to try to follow you everywhere you go or anything creepy like that. But you know what? That doesn't mean that even with it on Facebook and on YouTube, there's no guarantee they won't do what they keep on doing, which is pretend something else and refuse to allow the evidence in court. Natalie's family pressured her into doing horrible things to me. The cops here will let you die if I'm the only witness. If 6 people decide that they're gonna pick you up at that park and ride, drag you out into the middle of the country and rape you to death, even if I record them dragging you into the vehicle and call the cops, they're gonna show up. They're gonna treat me like I'm schizophrenic. They're gonna make some excuse why it's someone else's jurisdiction or I have to wait 24 hours. So if you're close to me, don't die. I'm pretty sure nobody's gonna try to get this to her. I'm pretty sure that this is just gonna sit up there on my YouTube channel and be one of those things people entertain themselves with. But at least I said it. At least I tried. I'm sorry your name is public. I tried to keep everything private when I was at Starbucks as far as y'all's names go. But when that happened last night, I didn't expect you to tell me your name. I was just hoping y'all would be alright. I was hoping it was just messing around, fun and games, younger folks stuff, you know. If this creates drama for you, I'm sorry, I'm scared. The cops did that. The cops chose to do that. All of the people that I was told to call here about that situation, it's none of their jobs. I got recording after recording of that. Nobody will look at, nobody will listen, nobody will help me get it to where it needs to go. I got to try to do it myself, and no matter what, that doesn't matter because they just call me mentally ill and pretend it didn't happen, and that's what they'd have done if you gotten abducted last night and fucking killed and dumped in the goddamn river, you know? I'm sorry. I explained I didn't smell any alcohol or anything like that, and of course, you know, the situation with you wasn't all messed up like that, but I gotta think beyond that. I gotta think how people will treat my loved ones if you disappear in my proximity. I gotta think about people who hate me getting on and trying to destroy everything on my YouTube or everything on my Facebook. I gotta worry about people blaming me for anybody who would use that opportunity to hurt you, or if it's just a matter of chance that somebody decides to hurt you and I'm still local. Me being here, regardless of the fact that I have no intent of hurting you or anybody else here, the fact that I'm here puts you at risk. It puts your life at risk. It puts everyone in Hood River's life at risk, especially with the cops literally forcing me to go scream in the middle of the fucking street at the top of my lungs for help. So Ted Bollinger, who raped his daughters and used their bodies to help pay off his debts and had them selling drugs, he's just one of many extremely dangerous characters who have been busted with guns after Natalie's death, after threatening my life, after threatening to harm people that I love, or trying to imply or insinuate that he already had. Nobody will look. I get people who say they can't. They're afraid for their families, they're afraid for their kids, or they can't because they're in the wrong state, they're too far away. No matter what, jurisdiction doesn't matter their way, it only matters mine. I just wanted to make sure that everybody was safe. People say, Sean, you need to worry about yourself. And you know what? By looking out for you, I am looking out for myself. By keeping you safe, I am looking out for myself. By making sure nothing bad happens to you, I am making sure that nobody goes after my sister or my niece like they have been over fucking Christ. I'm hot as fuck. I'm getting a migraine, and I gotta shut off my phone and plug it into my batteries, and I gotta hope it cools down, because I don't think I have enough money or enough gas to go back to the Walmart and get some more of those ice thingies. I might, because I still have some money in my pocket, but not much. Also, a lot of y'all might say I should have been greedy with that $5 and kept it all to myself, or spent it all on gas, and that's only partially true. See, we got rules out here on the streets, and some of those rules include the old school rules. You're flying a sign with somebody, you're on their corner with them. If you get handed that money, that's your money to split. If they were at that corner to begin with, it's their money. If you find something while you're with them, it's split. The younger folks don't follow those rules. They don't have that etiquette, and they don't know shit about working together. It's every man for himself. Except for Hispanic folks. Thank God for Hispanic folks. Especially here. Thank God for family heritage and cultural heritage that pushes heavily that family influence and working together. A lot of people where I'm from, Nebraska, they hate blacks and Mexicans. Blame everything on blacks and Mexicans. There ain't none there. A lot of racists, a lot of them, the judges, the cops, the public pretenders. I'm looking at the same thing here, Alycia. I'm looking at the same crap, the same propaganda, the same excuses, the same abuse.